Hello, this is Jen Mitchell from Solace Divorce Mediation. I am a family law attorney, a family law mediator, and a life coach, and I am the owner of Solace Divorce Mediation. And I'm doing some Facebook Lives for 30 days. Actually, it's 35. I did an extra 5 days of content for you. And Mondays are my day to talk about divorce with you in the state of Illinois. So, anyone out there who is thinking about going through a divorce or maybe has started the divorce process, I hope I can help manage your expectations and hopefully reduce maybe some fear or anxiety or overwhelm that you may be feeling. We all have heard many horror stories from couples who have used the courtroom setting to get a divorce. And so I think that's where a lot of that fear and overwhelm and anxiety, if you're thinking about divorce, comes from, because we all hear those stories and we all think that we have to do that a lot of the times, and we don't have to do that. So that's what I want to share with you, is just some information, just to help manage your expectations and help you make the best choice for yourself, for your co-parenting family, for your extended family, circle of friends, for everyone, and all of those ripple effects out into the world. So today I want to talk with you about how divorce is nothing more than a series of choices. And I've narrowed it down to 4 main choices. The first choice, obviously, is that you are going to get a divorce. That is a choice. That divorce in the state of Illinois, there are no more fault grounds. It is a no-fault state, so irreconcilable differences, that there has been an irrevocable breakdown of your marriage. Past efforts at reconciliation have failed, and you believe that future attempts to reconcile would fail as well. And it's in the best interest of your family to get a divorce. So that is choice number 1, that you believe that there has been an irrevocable breakdown of your marriage, right? You need to get a divorce. Choice number 2, how are you going to get your divorce in the state of Illinois? And there are 2 main ways that you can utilize to get a divorce. The first way is what I just talked about, the courtroom setting, traditional litigation, where you retain a litigation attorney focused in family law, and you file a petition for dissolution of marriage, and your spouse will be served via sheriff, and you kind of go down that courtroom road. And I'll talk more about that next week. Or option number 2, with choice number 2, is you mediate. And what mediating is when you and your spouse agree that you are going to stay outside of court and you're going to work together to create the agreements that you feel are in the best interest of your children that you've known since you found out that you were pregnant. And you also both are going to work together to create the agreements that you believe are most fair and equitable to your marriage with regards to your marital property division. And all of the marital property is all of the stuff that you guys have worked so hard to have. So that is choice number 2. Choice number 1, get a divorce. Choice number 2, how are you going to get a divorce? Option A is you're going to litigate. Option B is you're going to mediate. The third choice that you have is, how are you going to view and how are you going to choose to experience your divorce journey? So again, there's 2 main options, right? Option A is going to be in a low energy state. This choice is made when you choose to be very angry about your divorce. You choose to be very frustrated at your spouse or disappointed. You choose to just have all of those icky feelings of fear and overwhelm and frustration, hate, all of those awful, awful feelings. That is option A. That is low energy state. Or if it's happening anyway, you can choose option B, which is a high energy state. And all this is a change in perspective. And again, these are your choices when you're going through a divorce. The high energy way of looking at your divorce, if it's happening anyway, is to look at it just like any other difficult time in your life. If you look back to anything that's ever happened to you, if you were fired from a job, that's always a good example. Most people get annoyed or angry when they get fired from a job, right? But you look back on it now, and at the time, maybe it was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is awful. I can't believe I was fired. You're going to freak out. You're going to have all these things, right? But you get fired from a job, something happened in your life. And now, of course, you can look back on it and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful I was fired from that job, because if I wasn't fired from that job, I never would have gotten a job here, or I never would have met so and so, or I never would have done this, that, or the other thing. Difficult times in our life are here for a reason. We're supposed to learn from them. We're supposed to use them as an opportunity to learn the lessons that we're meant to learn so we can continue to move forward in our life journey in a powerful fashion. And so that is option B for choice number 3, right? Not choice number 1, get a divorce. Choice number 2, how are you going to get a divorce? In the courtroom setting using litigation, or outside of court using mediation. Choice number 3, how are you going to view and experience it? Low energy state, feeling angry, or high energy state, feeling that this is an opportunity, because it is such a difficult thing to go through. It's an opportunity to learn more about yourself. It's an opportunity to heal yourself, take really good care of yourself and love yourself, kind of cocoon yourself and heal yourself from any of the past hurts or traumas from that relationship or anything else that is blocking you from moving forward, and then use that to grow into the person that you are meant to be. Use that to come out of your divorce experience stronger than you went in. Choice number 4 that you have, and it's only 4 that I narrowed it down to, the 4 biggies, right? Choice number 4, what are the final agreements of your legal documents going to look like? Okay, so in the state of Illinois, if you have children, you have 3 main documents you need to create. Judgment for dissolution of marriage, parenting agreement. The word custody is gone. Yay. That was such a awful, ugly word that took on a life of its own. Now the parenting agreement is called the allocation of parental responsibilities and parenting plan. All of that to replace custody. But it's good, because custody, awful, scary word, heightened word. We don't use that anymore. Third document that you need to create if you have children in the state of Illinois is your marital settlement agreement. So those are the 3 docs. If you do not have children, you just have to do the judgment for dissolution of marriage and the marital settlement agreement. So that is choice number 4. What are the agreements that you want to put into those legal documents that at the end of your journey, when you go to court at your prove up hearing, the judge is going to sign off on? Now, all 4 of these choices are all connected, and they affect one another in the hierarchy that I just shared with you, right? So the first one, you're going to get a divorce. That obviously connects to the other 3, right? So choice number 2, how are you going to do this? Are you going to litigate, or are you going to mediate? Now I'll just kind of parcel out how that second choice is going to affect your choice number 3 and your choice number 4. So say you choose to litigate your divorce, the traditional route with each of you retaining a zealous advocate litigation attorney, which I was for 9 years. I am no longer that. I'm still an attorney, but now I choose to stay out of the courtroom and build families, make them stronger rather than destroying them. So choice number 2, you are going to choose to litigate. How does that affect your choice number 3 and choice number 4? Choice number 3 was, how are you choosing to view and experience your divorce journey? Okay? If you litigate, that choice it's going to be real hard for you to be in control of that choice, because you're going to be going to court every 45 to 60 days. You're going to have an opposing counsel who is solely looking out for the best interest of your spouse, while your attorney is solely looking out for your best interest. And I want you to know that your best interest in the courtroom setting, when your attorney is advocating on your behalf, does not include the health and well-being of your children, nor does it include the health and well-being of your relationship with your co-parent. Your attorney's job is just to look after you, and your spouse's attorney job is just to look after him or her. So you're 2 different people. If you have children, you're from the same family. You're going to be co-parenting for the rest of your lives, But in the courtroom setting, you're two different people with two very different best interests. And the beauty of the governing statute, the Illinois Marriage and Dissolution of Marriage Act in the state of Illinois, right? The beauty of that is there are many provisions that are quite vague. There are no real definitions for them. And so it opens the door for your attorneys to advocate for your best interest as your zealous advocate, right? What I'm getting to with this whole tangent is when this is happening, when you are stuck in this courtroom setting and you're going to court every 45 to 60 days, maybe you're not going. And now with COVID, a lot of this is virtual, right? Maybe you're not appearing for those status dates because you don't get to speak at them, but your attorneys are. And so you are getting this monthly invoice, right? And everything moves real slow in the courtroom setting. So you're going to keep getting these monthly invoices for a very long time. And you're not going to have as much money as when you started. So you're going to be crabby and you're going to be irritated. And you're going to start to get angry that you're even there fighting with this person who you were once in love with, who you have children with possibly, and who you have to maintain a relationship with for the rest of your life. If you have kids, for the rest of your life until one of you dies, you will be co-parents. You'll be co-parenting your beautiful children. And I encourage you, please do a really good job with your kids because they're our future. They're our decision makers when we're all old. I want them happy, healthy, well-adjusted kids, right? So anyway, when you're in the litigation setting, your choice number 3, how you choose to view and experience your divorce journey, that's real hard for you to choose to stay in that high energy state of where you're looking at it like, there's so much for me to learn about myself here, and I'm really going to take the time to heal and grow, and I'm going to be the person that I was always meant to be. It's hard to do that when you're stuck in the courtroom setting because your opposing counsel is going to be filing these petitions that are probably going to hurt your feelings because, again, they're looking out for your spouse's best interest and they want you to not look as good as your spouse does. So what I'm getting at is it makes it real hard for you to be in control of that choice. And you're relinquishing your control to your attorneys, to your judge, to that entire environment of the courtroom setting. And anyone who's been in court before, you know what it looks like. It's not super pretty. They don't have a lot of flowers. They really don't have a lot of color. It's just real cold and just like, it just doesn't feel good in there. You know, it's overwhelming. And I'm an attorney. I used to be in there all the time and I still didn't feel comfortable in there. Okay, choose to litigate. How does that affect your 4th choice, right? Again, choice number 1, you're going to get a divorce. Choice number 2, how you're going to do it. 3, how you're going to view and experience it. And 4, the agreements that are going to be part of your legal documents. When you choose to litigate, your 4th choice is taken away from you as well. Now the 3rd one, how you view and experience, maybe if you do a lot of like self-care, you can feel good right through it. But your 4th choice, if you litigate, that is completely taken from you. You have no control. You can't choose what is in your legal documents. Instead, what happens is your attorneys, each of your attorneys fight in court, and they're very smart, they're very eloquent, they're very good at this. They draft lots of pleadings and they ask for a lot of information and they just continue to get their billable hours up and up and up, right? And I'm saying this again, I was a litigation attorney for 9 years. So when I'm sharing this, this isn't just like, oh, I think it's how it works. This is how it works in there, okay? Your attorneys do the fighting, the advocating for you, for your best interest, right? Go back and forth. The end of the day, who is making the decision of what goes in your legal documents when you choose to litigate, your 2nd choice, which venue you want to utilize? The judge. You are giving up your choice of what is going to be in your legal documents to a complete stranger who happens to be elevated at the front of the courtroom, which is wonderful, and is wearing a robe and answers to your honor. That's who you're giving your control to. You are giving it up to a judge. A judge is making the decisions for you with regards to how often you're going to see your kids, how you're going to spend holidays with them, how you're going to go on vacations with them, all of these things about your children that you have raised their entire lives, that you have known them since you found out you were pregnant with them. You know them inside and out, and yet you are choosing, by choosing to litigate, you are choosing to completely give up your power to make any agreements with regards to your kids to a judge, to a random stranger who's making those decisions. Same thing with the marital settlement agreement, your property agreement. You're doing the same thing. You are giving your control, you are giving your power to a random stranger who has never met you before, who has so many cases on his or her docket that there's no way that they could ever truly understand your marriage journey as well as you two do, because you've been living in your marriage since day one. You know everything that's happened. You know who's worked super hard. You know what is hugely emotional and important to your spouse. You know what's important to you. Like, you know all of these things. Both of you have the keys within you to create the agreements that are most fair and equitable to your marriage, which is what the law requires. In the state of Illinois, it needs to be fair and equitable, the marital property distribution. So don't you think the two of you are the best qualified people to determine what is fair and equitable for your unique marriage when you've lived every single day of it? If you choose to litigate, you're not saying that. Instead, you're saying that a judge who's never met you, never lived one day in your marriage, never worked one day at your job, has more authority to tell you what is fair and equitable. So that's how the funnel effect, right? Now, going back to choice number one, get a divorce. Choice number two, instead of choosing option A to litigate, we're going to choose option B. We're going to mediate. And I'm going to tell you how this affects choice 3 and choice 4. And I'm going to tell you through the lens of Solace divorce mediation, because I have a certain way of doing this, right? So I'm going to share with you, because you have this control within yourselves. You choose to mediate. You and your spouse stay out of the courtroom setting. At Solace, we're all certified life coaches. So we're helping not just with the legal process of divorce. And next week, I'm going to talk more about litigation and mediation, how they're different, how they're the same, how they're different. So I don't want to get into weeds. But anyway, they're very different. At Solace, we're life coaches. So what we do as life coaches, we're not ever telling our clients, you need to do this or you need to do that, live your life this way, that way, the other way. No, that's not what a life coach does. All a life coach does is help shift your perspective ever so slightly into a different way of looking at things, even if it's just a tiny little shift, just to better serve your life experience. And so we continuously share with our clients choice 3 and 4, right? So you're choosing to mediate. That's choice 2. Choice 3, how do you wish to view and experience your divorce? At Solace, we give our clients lots of resources and tools to help them with the emotional processing of divorce, because there's the legal process of divorce and the emotional process of divorce. Legal process, easy, governed by that statute, the Illinois Marriage and Dissolution of Marriage Act. Everything that's in there, any issue that you might have with your divorce, it's going to be in that statute. So that is not that difficult. Emotional process of divorce, that is much harder. That's what fuels the litigation system. That's why it's so ugly in there, because people are so angry. They're so hurt. And they don't have the resources or tools to help make them feel better. And they are in control of making themselves feel better. And that is such a powerful concept to embrace. When you're going through a divorce, when you're living your life, just every day, every day of the year, always, forever. Just know you are in control of your life. Be an accountable person. If you don't like your life, then change it. You're the only person who can do that, right? Anyway, at Solace, choice number 2, you're going to mediate. How are you going to choose to view and experience your divorce journey? At Solace, we encourage our clients to view this as an opportunity to learn, to heal, and to grow. And to understand that the only way to do those things, right? The only way that you are going to come out of this experience stronger than you went in is if you take really good care of yourself. And if you really love yourself so much, just start a crazy love affair with yourself. Self-care, self-love. Those are the tools that really help you to be clear-headed and to stay in this high energy vibration, right? Feeling gratitude. That's the power emotion. If you can get in a state of gratitude when you're going through a divorce, that is a good thing. And it's not that difficult to do. You can do it yourself, right? You have control over your body, you have control of your life experience. Getting in a state of gratitude is nothing more than focusing on everything that you have, that you are grateful for, right? And you can start real easy, real simple. I'm grateful that I have a mind that enables me to formulate these words, right? I'm grateful for physically being here today. I'm grateful for these glasses so I can see. I'm grateful for the lunch that I just had. I'm grateful for my children that I love more than life, right? All of these wonderful things of gratitude. When you can get in a state of gratitude, you are not able to think of anything negative. And you can try it. That'll be a homework assignment. I love homework. Okay, so your homework assignment, you are going to work to get in a state of gratitude, true gratitude. You can feel it. You'll kind of be buzzing a little bit, right? When you're in that state, try to think about something that makes you angry, or try to feel scared or overwhelmed or disappointed or frustrated. All those low level things. Just try it and you won't be able to. So get in a state of gratitude and just elevate. Stay in the high energy vibrational state so you can make good decisions. You can be of clear mind, clear heart, clear soul, and just make the decisions that are best for you, best for your family, best for your friends, best for the world, right? So when you mediate that third choice, you do have control over that. You can choose to be in a high energy state. You can choose to feel good. You can choose to learn, heal, and grow from your divorce experience. Absolutely. How does choosing to mediate affect your fourth choice? That fourth choice was, what agreements are you going to put in your legal documents? And so when you're choosing to mediate your divorce, you are in control of all of the agreements. You and your spouse can work together to create the agreements that are in the best interest of your kids, that you know better than anyone else. And for your marital settlement agreement, you and your spouse can work together in mediation to create the agreements that are most fair and equitable for your marital property division. All the marital property that you have worked your butt off to accumulate, you two can decide those things. So, very long, all choice, right? I encourage you to make the choices that best serve your life experience. You only live one time, so let's make it great. And if you have chosen choice number one, that you need to get a divorce, it's okay. That's okay. Divorce happens all the time. And I just see divorce as nothing more than energies that are no longer matching up. At one point, you were at the same kind of energy vibration. You were connecting good. You were getting along great. And then at some point in time, when people change, their energy vibrations change. And then you're off, and it's not working in that way anymore. And that's okay. Then we just restructure. We move from a marriage that isn't working anymore, right? And instead of staying there and just getting really uncomfortable and angry and just not opening yourself up to other experiences and other people, you're just staying here because it's comfortable or because you're afraid or overwhelmed or whatever it is. There's so many different reasons that people have where they stay in relationships that aren't serving them, right? But what I help couples do, how I see what I do, right, is I restructure. That's it. I help couples transition from this, which isn't working, over to this. And if this is co-parenting, then let's create a really solid foundation of communication, trust, and respect, so we can raise the best children ever and have strong children coming from divorce instead of, this awful narrative that children of divorce come out broken or worse than children that stay or were raised in households where their parents stayed together, because that's not true, right? It's true if the parents are connected and vibing and everyone's lovey-dovey and having fun. But if that's not happening, then I completely reject that. I do not think that is good for children. I think we can teach our kids some other powerful narratives. So please drop a comment below if there's anything that you want me to talk about with regards to divorce. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer all of your questions. If you are thinking about divorce, I'll also put below a link for a scheduler, and we do free consultations at Solace. So I'm happy to talk to you and help manage your expectations. I hope you have a beautiful day. Be the change you wish to see in this world.